Hi everyone, how's it going? James here for a quick video. I know I uploaded a long one yesterday, so I'll try and make it quick. This is an idea for a thread that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I just thought I'd just do it. It's the start of 2018, so let's just do it. I wanted to do a thing where we try and get together on the VC and club together and try and show every record produced by a particular producer. I racked my brains for a while, tried to think of who would be a good person to do. You'd need someone with a very long track record of producing lots and lots and lots of different records. I was thinking, you know, maybe George Martin or Mutt Lange, but they didn't seem quite diverse enough. And then I hit on somebody, and the person I hit on was Tony Visconti, who I'm sure his name will be known to all of you, or many of you at least. Born April 24th, 1944, he is an American record producer, and since the late 60s he has worked with a huge number of people. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the video description box down below, and the link will be to the Wikipedia page for Tony Visconti. On that page you can read all about him, but more importantly you can see, if you scroll down, you can see a complete list of all the albums he produced, and it's organised by artists. So the list that I'm looking at here starts with T-Rex, and it goes from 1968 through to 1981. There's all the classic albums he made with David Bowie. Visconti produced, you know, Low, Heroes, The Man Who Sold the World, Scary Monsters. I mean, just, you know, the list goes on, and some of the later ones as well, you know, Reality, The Next Day, Black Star. And then there's another section that just says with other artists, and that's when you really get into the nitty-gritty, just the most incredible array of people, artists, bands, solo artists. Some of them I've not heard of, and it goes all the way through from, that section goes through from 1969, it goes all the way through to 2016. And when you get to the sort of later years, there's artists and bands there that I've never heard of. It could well be that they don't exist on vinyl, maybe you're going to have to show CDs. That's what I thought we could do. So all get together, and can we, as the VC, collectively show every single one of those records used by Tony Visconti? I'll show 3, just to get us started. I'm going to show a couple of quite obscure ones, because he did produce a lot of very, very famous albums. So I'll show 2 quite obscure ones, and then one reasonably well-known one. I'll show Steve Gibbons, Down in the Bunker. Steve Gibbons is a West Midlands musician from Birmingham in the UK, and he's had a very long, I wouldn't say illustrious career, but he's had a very long career in British rock. He supported The Who on their 1976 tour, I believe. They had one hit single in the UK, which was a cover of Chuck Berry's song Chillane, and then they kind of got washed up a little bit because punk came along and that broke, and Steve didn't really get his break, but he has stayed gigging all the way through the years, and he still gigs to this day in the West Midlands. And it's very kind of earthy Birmingham music. It's got a bit of grit, a bit of soul to it, Dylan-esque lyrics, quite a gravelly voice, some great guitar playing on that record. But that was produced by Visconti. It was 1978. Then we have, I'll do the other obscure one next. Not massively obscure, but fairly obscure. This is the Difford Tilbrook album, Glenn Tilbrook and Chris Difford from Squeeze. When Squeeze broke up in 1982, it was the first time they broke up. They'd only been recording for about 4 years, and they just basically crashed and burned. You know, they'd had some success in Britain, they had some success in America. It was building, and then they just decided, Glenn and Chris decided, that it had all happened too fast, and there was too much work and too much slogging around America and too much recording, and rather than having a break, they disbanded the group and then went on to record a completely unsuccessful album as a duo, Difford and Tilbrook. I'm very fond of this album, but it's probably not the finest music they ever recorded, and it was produced by Tony Visconti. And the strange thing that they always said was that Visconti was completely absent. I mean, he was there in the studio, but he didn't seem committed to the project at all. I think they said he was frequently, when he was meant to be on the mixing desk, he'd just be sat in the corner on his mobile phone, listen to me, on his phone, some kind of phone. He maybe as a result of that, the album was nothing like as strong as it should have been, coming from Tony Visconti. There are some good songs on here, but there's also a fair few kind of cheesy kind of strings and a bit of, I don't know, it's not mixed very well. The drums are far too loud, and It's not Glenn and Chris at their best. I am very fond of it, but it's certainly not the classic album that Tony Visconti should have made for the boys. Right, and that album was, let me see, 1984. Squeeze then reformed the year after, so there was a happy ending to that. And the final one I'm going to show, this is from 1977, and this is a co-production, to be fair, but it's produced by Thin Lizzy and Tony Visconti. This is their album Bad Reputation. This is a great album. It contains their absolutely brilliant immortal hit Dancing in the Moonlight. So I didn't show any of the Bowie, you know, I mean there are so many records to show. I just thought I would pick three. Those are the three I picked. At some point when things maybe have run out of steam a little bit, because clearly not everybody is going to jump on this, you know, I know. At some point I'll do another video where I say, right, okay, we still have a lot of records still to show. Hopefully at some point down the line, it might take 6 months, it might take 3 days, who knows, we will have shown every album produced by Tony Visconti. So that's the idea. Don't put my name on the thread or anything. Just call it can the VC show every Tony Visconti album? So it's not a contest, I'm afraid. There's no prize. It's just a bit of fun. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care, folks, and peace.